Once upon a time there was a young disciple who had been studying under a Zen master for many years. The disciple was diligent and dedicated, always striving to improve himself and attain enlightenment. However, despite his efforts, he often found himself comparing his progress to that of his fellow disciples. One day, the disciple approached his master with a troubled mind. He said, "Master, I have been practicing diligently, but when I see the progress of my fellow disciples, I can't help but feel inferior. I constantly compare myself to them, and it fills me with self-doubt and dissatisfaction. How can I overcome this?" The Zen master listened attentively, and then smiled gently. He replied, "My dear disciple, let me tell you a story. Once there was a majestic oak tree standing in the middle of a dense forest. The oak tree had tall branches, lush leaves, and a strong trunk. It provided shade to those who sought refuge beneath it and sheltered countless creatures in its branches. One day, the oak tree noticed a beautiful rose bush growing nearby. The rose bush was adorned with vibrant, fragrant flowers that captivated the eyes and delighted the senses. The oak tree became envious of the rose bush and felt insignificant in comparison. The oak tree thought, "I am just a plain and sturdy tree, while the rose bush is delicate and admired by all. How I wish I could be as beautiful and graceful as the rose bush." The oak tree's desire for comparison grew stronger with each passing day. It couldn't appreciate its own unique qualities and the value it brought to the forest. It became so preoccupied with comparing itself to the rose bush that it neglected its own growth and purpose. Then, one day, a woodcutter came to the forest. He saw the magnificent oak tree and said, "This tree is strong and sturdy. It will provide excellent timber for building homes and furniture." The woodcutter marveled at the oak tree's resilience and usefulness. The oak tree realized that its true value lay not in being a delicate rose bush, but in being a majestic oak tree, fulfilling its purpose in its own unique way. From that moment on, it let go of comparisons and embraced its own essence. The Zen master paused and looked deeply into the disciple's eyes. He said, "My dear disciple, you are like that oak tree. You have your own unique qualities, strengths, and purpose. Comparing yourself to others only distracts you from realizing your true potential. Embrace who you are, focus on your own growth, and trust in the journey. Remember, each flower blossoms in its own time." The disciple listened intently, absorbing the wisdom of his master's words. From that day forward, he let go of comparisons and cultivated a deep sense of self-acceptance and contentment. He embraced his own path and flourished, just like the majestic oak tree fulfilling its purpose in the forest. And so, the young disciple embarked on a new chapter in his journey towards enlightenment. He understood that comparing himself to others would only hinder his progress and bring unnecessary suffering. Instead, he focused on his own practice, diligently cultivating mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom. With each passing day, the disciple found greater joy and fulfillment in his own growth. He no longer felt the need to measure his progress against that of his fellow disciples. He realized that each person's path was unique and that true enlightenment could not be achieved by trying to be someone else or by outshining others. The disciple continued to learn from his Zen master, who guided him with compassion and wisdom. He deepened his understanding of the teachings and applied them to every aspect of his life. He found peace in the present moment, accepting himself fully and embracing the challenges and lessons that came his way. As time went on, the disciple became a Zen master in his own right. He dedicated his life to guiding others on the path of self-discovery and inner peace. He shared the story of the oak tree and the rose bush, reminding his own disciples of the importance of self-acceptance and staying true to oneself. The disciples' teachings resonated deeply with those who sought his guidance. They, too, began to let go of comparisons and embrace their own unique qualities and paths. The ripple effect of the disciples' transformation spread far and wide, touching the lives of countless individuals who were inspired to find their own inner light. And so, the story of the young disciple serves as a timeless reminder that true fulfillment comes from within. When we stop comparing ourselves to others and embrace our own authenticity, we can blossom in our own unique way, just like the majestic oak tree fulfilling its purpose in the forest.